Hello, everyone. Casper Stockham here. Hey, we're going to get into, is Texit a crypto scam? This new Texit and Texit Coin situation is popping up and getting more interesting by the day, and folks are wondering, is this thing real or not? So we're going to dive into it, and I'm going to give you some real tips on how to detect whether Texit and any other program really is a scam or not. So just to introduce myself, my name is Casper Stockham, and I've been in and out of the industry of marketing and direct sales for over 40 years. For 30 years, I've been doing trainings and uh, analyzing comp plans, even creating comp plans for companies and such. So, in my book, I talk about how to detect if something is a scam or not. So let's take a look at Texit and see how it measures up. So in chapter 12 of my book, I have these topics here to list to find out if Texit or any other company is a scam. The first thing you want to look for is stability. You want to look for stability, 2 to 8 years at a minimum. Now, Texit does not really fit into that because even though the founder has been around for a while and doing things in the industry, Texit itself is not that old. It's only about a year or so old. And I think they didn't start trading on the market until November of last year. So, stability wise, it's brand new, but it's sometimes good to be early on programs. So, that is not something that would take it out of the game, especially if they're still growing. You want to look for proven growth. That brings me to my next point. So, does it have proven growth? Well, as of today's snapshot, it's been growing pretty good on the open market on the coin market cap site, starting from November 2024 until today. It's been growing pretty good, and it has a very nice steady increase. So, stability wise and growth wise, it looks like it's doing very well. So that's something to keep an eye on. Then you also want to look for a strong leadership. Now, the owner of this company, his name is Bobby Gray. You want to do your homework on Bobby. He's been in and out of the industry of crypto for a while, doing some very um, innovative things as far as a cold storage coin and things like that he's developed. So, take a look at him, take a look at his resume, make sure you're comfortable with what he is doing in the industry and his leadership ability to take Texit to the next level. I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen with him. What I do like about him is that he's very open and accessible. They have calls several times a week, and he is on the call himself. He's answering questions, and they're not filtering out the questions. So, if you have a hard question to ask him, he's very open to do that. So, just check that out and check him out and make sure that you're comfortable with who he is as a leader and as the owner of this franchise. The next thing you want to look at as a solid compensation plan. Now, compensation plans, they range from all different types of plans, whether it's a force matrix or a binary or stair step breakaway and all these different things. But the bottom line is, if it's a product company, their compensation plan can pay out only about 40 to 55% of their of the money they take in. If it's a service oriented plan, they can pay out a little bit more because there's less of overhead involved with running a service. But at the end of the day, most of them pay out about the same. So there's no magic compensation plan out there that's going to pay out more than the other. So just take a look at that and make sure that fits your criteria. Something else you want to look at is a solid product line. Now, this Texit coin is pretty unique and pretty interesting. These are all mined only in Texas. So it's decentralized from the bank, but some in the crypto space would say it's not decentralized enough because it's only being mined in Texas. Some see that as a strength, some see that as a weakness, but it's up to you. But they're definitely not connected to any bank, so that is definitely decentralized in that aspect. And these coins are only mined in Texas, and it's controlled by Texit, the company Texit. So that's another challenge for some people, but for some people, that's pretty exciting. I know I have lost a lot of money in the crypto space, and some of these companies have been, who knows where they're founded, who knows who the founders are. They're just growing, so everybody jumps in, and next thing you know, it's a pump and dump kind of situation, and it goes away pretty quick, and you've lost your money, and you don't even know who to who to complain to, with the fact that you've now lost all your money. So with Texas, it's quite a bit different. The company address is on the website. They're very transparent. In fact, when you go to the dashboard, they show their numbers. And I got to be honest with you folks, that like I said, I've been out here for 40 plus years. I've never seen any company in or out of this industry that is this transparent on the numbers that they have. They show the numbers when it comes to members signing up, the revenue coming into the company, the different mining operations going on, the hashtag rates. All these things are available without even logging into the company. So that's very transparent. That in itself kind of elevates it to a whole new level outside of what the norm would be in the crypto space. So when it comes to being a potential scam or not, I mean, that's that's showing right there. I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen a company be this transparent on their numbers. So solid product line. This coin could easily sell, and does easily sell right now on the market, and is growing in in interest on the market. And you don't have to be a part of the recruiting arm of the company to take advantage of it. So the product stands on its own by itself. It's trading on the market. Like I showed you earlier, it's trading on the market very nicely, growth rate, and people are interested in it. So that in itself is another good sign as far as whether it's a good opportunity or not. And then the last but not least, does it have a strong training program? So the training program is a little weak right now with Texit because it's just getting really ramped up with that side of the of things. But they do have weekly calls to where Bobby is on the call, leaders out in the field are on the calls. They're explaining things. They're talking about what's going on, giving the miners updates on things that are going on. So I would give it pretty high marks on that instance, to where they're definitely available, and they are working on getting it more polished. So right now it's pretty unpolished, but that's kind of nice in a way, right? It's kind of refreshing in a way that it's not all their things are not in place to where it's early. So there's a lot to be said for being early. And with this opportunity, I'm told they're only going to have a certain amount of miners, and then it's going to be closing down as far as more miners coming on. So I believe the target is 200,000 miners. I could be wrong on that exact number, but I know it's a limited amount. So if you're interested in becoming a miner, you probably should do it sooner rather than later. So I would give this program, Texit, very high marks. I think it's something you definitely want to look into for sure, get all your questions answered. And this is one of those opportunities to where you can get your questions answered pretty quick. Uh, like I said, several times a week, they have these calls to where Bobby is on the call himself and you can ask him directly. Hey, my name is Casper Stockham. I hope you appreciated this explanation of Texit. And I think you can determine with me that it is not a scam. It's something that you definitely should be looking into. And, if you see what I see, you should get involved. Hey, thank you for your time. We'll talk to you.